This video is section 3H. We're just going to be worrying about multiplying and dividing multi-digit numbers. I'm trying to get through as quickly as possible. So if you need to, just pause this and write it. Let's move on to some examples. All right, I am going to go through a couple examples with you of how to multiply using multi-digit numbers. The first one is one that you'll be most comfortable with. The other two, if you don't get it, you don't need to worry about it, but I'm just showing you different methods that you can use. And the last two that I'm showing you are going to be important because one you'll use later on when you're in high school most likely. And then the other one, we're going to be doing something similar to it, but in reverse. So seeing this multiplication at least one time might be able to help you when we get to this down the road. All right, so the first way that you guys know is just writing these numbers on top of each other. And you can write the larger number on top, and then you just go ahead and start multiplying. So we can do 9 times 7, which is going to give me 63. But remember, this 3 is a 1s, and this 6 is 10s. So we can write the 3, and we can carry the 6. Right? And then we will do 9 times 2, which is going to give me 18. But in reality, we're doing 9 times 20, so it's giving us those 10s. But remember, you will do 9 times 2, which is 18, and then you're going to add over those 6 extra 10s that we carried to give us that 24. Right? And now when we go to move on to the next number that we're multiplying, I like to cross out this number once I add it so I know I don't have to add it again. But when we go to move to the next one, we have 10 times any number. Well, 10 times any number, the minimum it can be, the minimum that it'll be is 10. It can never be less than that. So we need to put this place value at this 1s because we're never going to have another 1s when we move into those 10s. So 1 times 7 is going to give me 7. There's nothing to carry. And 1 times 2 gives me 2. Once I multiply this out, I can just add down. 3 plus 0 gives me 3. 4 plus 7 gives me 1. 11, and we carry the 1. And 2 plus 2 plus 1 gives me 5. So it is 513. All right, the other way that you can do is called your lattice multiplication. And I know one of your classmates actually uses this method. But you can write your numbers and you can multiply them, and you write one of them going horizontally and then one of them going vertically, like I am here. And then what you're going to do is you're just going to draw this box surrounding going through edges of our numbers. So see here, I'm starting at right at this corner that would be between these two numbers, going till after this number and bringing it down so it's below that 9. And then in between any of our digits here, we're going to draw this vertical line, and any of our digits here, we're going to draw this horizontal line. And then after you draw that, you're going to draw a line going diagonally through these boxes and through the corners. And when you come to this one, since we can continue going through another box, we will, and we draw this one. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and multiply these numbers. And the first thing that we're going to do is multiply this furthest block away. And we do that by multiplying the two numbers that would create this block. So that would be the 7 and this 9. And 7 times 9 gives me 63. All right, just like we used to write the 3 and then carry the 6, we're kind of doing the same thing here where if we need to carry a number, that's going to go in this top portion of the box, which is why we have to draw that diagonal. So we'll write 63, but we're breaking up our numbers in their spots, so the 1s and the 10s. Right? And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to multiply the next digits that make up the box to the left of that, this 2 and this 9. And 2 times 9 gives me 18. And I know that just like I would carry that 1, I'm going to put the 1s at the bottom and the 10s up top. Right? And then now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move into this next multiplication, which is going to be this furthest block, which will be 1 times 7. Well, 1 times 7 is actually going to be equal to 7. So the way that we write this, since there is nothing that we are carrying over, the way that we write it is we write the 7 and then we just carry the 0. And then the last ones that we're multiplying is this 2 and this 1. And 2 times 1 is also going to be 2, so there's nothing to carry. So we write the 2 and we're carrying technically that 0. All right, and now what we're doing is we're adding, starting furthest away from our numbers, we're adding our values. So that 3, there's nothing to add to it, so that is just going to give me 3. Right? Then I'm going to add these digits. 7 plus 6 is 13, plus 8 is 21. So just like we would carry this 1 like we did here, I will write the 1, and now I'm going to carry the 2 in this line above it. So we're always carrying everything along above that diagonal that we drew. Right? Then we have 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 1 is going to give me 5. And then there's that 0 here, but nothing is going to be added to it, so it is 513, just like the other multiplication that we did. All right, actually, for interest of time in this video, I'm not going to show you the third way. We'll do that in class one day. All right, I am going to show you both methods that I just was showing you before. So 132 times 36, the larger number goes on top. We will do 6 times 2, which is 12, so we carry the 1. 6 times 3 is 18, and then we're going to add this 1, which is 19, so we put the 9 and carry the 1. 6 times 1 is 6, added by 1 is 7. Right now, when we go to move to this 3, we need to put that place value because we're no longer in that 1s, but the 10s. And 3 times 2 gives me 6. 3 times 3 gives me 9, and 3 times 1 gives me 3. And now, just like we did in the other problem, we will now add these down. This gives me 2. 9 plus 6 gives me 5. I'm going to carry the 1. 1 plus 7 is 8. 8 plus 9 is 17. Carry the 1. And 1 plus 3 is 4. So it is 4,752. All right, now let's go ahead and do the lattice multiplication. So same thing as we did before. We will just write our numbers one horizontally. It doesn't really matter which one you write horizontally and which one you write vertically, but one horizontally and one vertically. Then we're just going to draw a box starting from where that inner corner would be, and just making sure that we're wrapping around all of our numbers. And then just like we did, we will draw this vertical line separating those numbers and this horizontal line separating those numbers. And then in each of these boxes, we just need to make sure that we're writing this, drawing this diagonal. And if it can extend through the box, we will. Right? And now we're just going to go ahead and multiply. Well, we will do the 6 times the 2 to fill in this box first. And that gives me 12. So the 2 will go in the bottom. The 1 that we would carry will go on top. Then we will do 6 times 3 to fill in this box. That's 18. So the 8 will go in the bottom. The 1 that we would carry will go on the top. And then we fill in this box, which is 6 times 1, which is 6. So there's no number that we would carry. So it's just going to be a 0. Right? Then we're going to fill in this box. It will be 3 times 2, which is 6. So we put the 6, and we're going to carry that 0. Then 3 times 3, which is 9. So we're going to put the 9 and carry the 0. And then we have 3 times 1, which is 3. So we put the 3 and we carry the 0. And now we're just going to go ahead and add down. Well, this is just going to give me 2. So I know that this answer here is 2, at least for the 1s. Right? Then I'm going to count these. So 6 plus 1 is 7, plus 8 is 15. So I'm going to put the 5, and I'm going to carry that 1 just like I would have in this part of the problem here. Then 1 plus 9 is 10, plus 1 is 11, plus 6 is 17. So I'll put the 7, and I will carry the 1. And 3 plus 0 plus 1 gives me 4. And this is just giving me a 0, so I don't need to count it. And it's the same exact answer. All right, so that's the only 2 examples for multiplication. Now we're going to go through division.